The frigid winds howled outside Heavenwood High School, leaving the usually bustling corridors eerily silent. Amelia and I, bundled up in layers of winter clothing, braved the biting cold as we made our way through the deserted hallways. Seriously, why are we even here today? It's like a ghost town, Amelia remarked, her breath visible in the frosty air. I chuckled, the sound muffled by my scarf. I guess we're the brave souls who didn't get the memo about staying home. As we walked, the click-clack of our shoes echoed off the lockers, creating a haunting rhythm that emphasized the emptiness around us. The lockers, normally adorned with colorful decorations and slammed shut by enthusiastic students, stood in stark contrast to the quiet, unadorned hallways. Amelia glanced around, her eyes narrowing. It's so weird seeing the school like this. Almost feels like we're in some post-apocalyptic movie. Yeah, just waiting for zombies to come stumbling out of the classrooms, I replied with a smirk. Little did we know that the empty halls were the calm before the storm, and the ominous quiet foreshadowed the impending chaos that would soon grip Havenwood High School. The announcement sent a shiver down our spines, a sudden realization that something wasn't quite right. The principal's voice crackled over the intercom, cutting through the chilly air, instructing everyone to stay in their classrooms. Amelia and I exchanged puzzled glances, our breath visible in the cold. Lockdown? Is this some kind of drill? Amelia questioned, her brow furrowed. I shook my head, a sense of unease settling in. I don't know. It's too weird, especially with this freezing weather. Shouldn't we be having a snow day instead? The empty hallways seemed to stretch on forever as we stood there, contemplating the sudden change in plans. The usual hustle and bustle of students rushing to class was replaced by an eerie silence, broken only by the distant hum of the heating system struggling to combat the bitter cold. Amelia crossed her arms, attempting to ward off the chill. This is giving me major goosebumps. What's really going on? The intercom crackled again, the principal's voice returning with an air of urgency. Please stay calm and do not let anyone inside your classrooms, no matter how convincing they may be. A sense of dread settled over us, the reality sinking in that the lockdown wasn't a mere precaution. The frozen landscape outside mirrored the chill creeping into our hearts, hinting at a danger far more sinister than the biting cold. In the girls' washroom, I sought refuge from the unsettling announcements echoing through the school. The cold, white-tiled room felt like a sanctuary, but the unease lingered. I leaned against the cool wall, closing my eyes for a moment of solace. The calm before the storm was abruptly shattered by the piercing sound of alarms, jolting me back to reality. Amelia's voice echoed in my mind as I wondered about the severity of the situation. Did the principal just say quarantine? What on earth is happening? The intercom crackled again, the principal's voice now weary, carrying an unsettling weight. The school will be in quarantine. May God have mercy on our souls. My heart raced, and I fumbled to comprehend the gravity of his words. Quarantine? Why? What's going on? I muttered to myself, the washroom's cold air doing nothing to quell the rising panic. The intercom fell silent, leaving me with unanswered questions and a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. I exited the washroom, the once familiar halls now casting shadows that seemed to dance with unseen threats. The announcement had transformed the mundane into the mysterious, setting the stage for the horrors that awaited just beyond the restroom door. As I cautiously ventured into the hallway, the air hung heavy with an unsettling tension. The once familiar surroundings had transformed into a nightmare. The echoing footsteps of terrified students faded into the distance, leaving an eerie silence broken only by the distant wails of the chilling wind. Amelia's concerned voice resonated beside me. This can't be real. What's happening out there? I could only shake my head, my gaze fixed on the chaos unfolding. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting sporadic shadows on the walls. It was then that I witnessed the unimaginable, a monstrous figure, misshapen and grotesque, attacking fellow students with a brutality that sent shockwaves through my core. Is Is that Cindy? Amelia's voice quivered, recognizing the disfigured assailant. Cindy, once a familiar face in the hallways, had become an unrecognizable horror. Each malformed limb swung with an otherworldly grace, a macabre dance of destruction. The grotesque scene unfolded like a nightmare, as I struggled to comprehend the reality of the situation. The metallic clang of lockers reverberated, punctuating the ghastly tableau. I could hardly believe the horror before me, unable to tear my eyes away from the monstrous transformation of a classmate. The realization hit me like a physical blow. The lockdown wasn't a precaution for the cold, but a desperate attempt to contain a monstrous threat within the school's walls. My pulse quickened as I retreated, seeking refuge in the nearest bathroom stall. The cold porcelain offered a meager sense of security, a flimsy barrier against the horrors lurking just beyond. Amelia's voice echoed in my mind, a mixture of fear and disbelief. What? What was that thing? Are we safe here? I don't know, Amelia. I don't know, I replied, my own voice barely above a whisper, the weight of the unfolding nightmare settling on my shoulders. The stall door creaked as I closed it, the dim light filtering through the narrow gaps revealing a macabre dance of shadows on the cold tile floor. I clutched my phone, desperately attempting to contact Amelia, but the absence of reception rendered my efforts futile. Silence enveloped the bathroom, broken only by the muffled sounds of chaos outside. The metallic screeches of lockers being torn apart and guttural cries of the wounded resonated through the walls, a symphony of terror. I just want this to be over. I want to go home, Amelia whispered, her voice shaky. I know, Amelia. We need to stay quiet and wait for help. I reassured her, though doubt lingered in my own mind. The stifling confines of the stall became a cocoon of fear, the minutes stretching into agonizing hours as we clung to the fragile hope that rescue would arrive. The echoes of chaos outside intensified, punctuated by the sharp cracks of gunfire. Fear seized my heart as I strained to make sense of the muffled sounds. The bathroom stall feeling like a fragile fortress in the face of an unknown adversary. Amelia's voice quivered with a mix of dread and curiosity. Gunshots? Who's out there? Are they here to help? I don't know, Amelia, but we need to be cautious, I replied, my words laden with uncertainty as the situation escalated. The bathroom became a sanctuary of anticipation, the minutes ticking away like an eternity. Suddenly, the clamor outside shifted, replaced by a series of controlled shots, each one resonating with a chilling precision. Someone's fighting back, Amelia whispered, a glimmer of hope in her voice. The bathroom door creaked open, and a mysterious figure clad in military gear entered. Their presence was both reassuring and enigmatic, the silhouette obscured by shadows cast from the flickering hallway lights. Who are you? What's happening? I stammered, my voice betraying a mixture of relief and curiosity. The soldier's gaze met mine, and without uttering a word, they gestured for us to stay silent. The urgency in their movements spoke volumes, and as they disappeared back into the hallway, a silent understanding passed between us. This mysterious savior was here to confront the monstrous threat that had turned our school into a nightmare. The confrontation between the soldier and the monstrous intruder unfolded in the hallway outside the bathroom, each gunshot echoing through the metallic halls. My eyes darted to Amelia, a mixture of fear and anticipation in her gaze. Do you think that soldier can save us? She asked, her voice tinged with hope. I don't know, Amelia, but we can't stay here forever. We need to find a way out, I replied, the urgency of our predicament pushing us to consider our options. The realization of our confinement struck like a hammer blow when we attempted to leave the bathroom. Metal plates, cold and unyielding, covered every exit, trapping us within the school's confines. Amelia's hands pressed against the cold metal, her voice tinged with desperation. This can't be happening. We're stuck. I ran my fingers along the unforgiving surface, searching for any weak point or sign of escape. There has to be a way. We can't just wait here. What if that thing comes back? The hallway outside remained a battleground, the sounds of struggle between the soldier and the monstrous threat persisting. Each gunshot felt like a countdown, urging us to find a solution before the danger reached our doorstep. We could try a window, maybe break through, Amelia suggested, a glimmer of determination in her eyes. I nodded, recognizing the logic in her words. As we approached the nearest window, the reality of our situation sank in, trapped within the cold, metallic embrace of our school, with danger lurking just beyond the barriers. As the realization of our confinement set in, the urgency to seek help intensified. I fumbled with my phone, typing a desperate plea on Reddit, detailing the horrors witnessed and the looming threat within Havenwood High School. Someone has to be out there. Someone has to help us, Amelia said, her eyes fixed on the phone screen as I pressed send. I just hope someone sees this and can get us out of here, I replied, a sinking feeling gnawing at the pit of my stomach. Outside the bathroom, the sounds of struggle continued. Gunshots and guttural roars echoed, creating a dissonant symphony of chaos. Amelia's voice wavered with uncertainty. What if that soldier doesn't make it? What if we're truly on our own? We can't think like that. We have to believe help is coming, I reassured her, though doubt lingered in my own mind. The minutes passed like an eternity as we huddled in the bathroom, clinging to the fragile hope that our plea for assistance would be heard. The fear of the unknown, coupled with the sounds of distant battle, cast a long shadow over our sanctuary. Suddenly, a notification chimed on my phone. A response on Reddit. Relief washed over us as we read the words, "Help is on the way. Stay put." Amelia's eyes widened with hope, a spark of optimism lighting her face. Someone's coming. We're going to make it out of here. As we waited for the rescue that promised liberation, the metal walls seemed to close in around us, trapping not just our bodies but our sanity within the confines of Havenwood High School. The unknown future loomed and the final chapter of our nightmarish ordeal awaited.